In 1976, two reporters grabbed their Electracoms, hit the Electracar, and zapped cartoonish crooks every Saturday morning. Just one season later, they disappeared. A lost pioneer or a glittery novelty? Let's find out. How a Saturday morning kids show tried to play like primetime TV.
Fighting all evil deeds, each writes for a magazine.
Television in 1976 wanted a spark. Saturday mornings belonged to cartoons and cereal, but ABC wanted something flashier, something that could make kids stop mid-bite. Sid and Marty Krofft, the minds behind H.R. Pufnstuf and Land of the Lost, believed they could fuse live-action spectacle with the superhero craze that had overtaken pop culture. Their bet became Electra Woman and Dyna Girl, a vibrant 12-minute burst of energy that aimed to turn weekend mornings into a mini primetime event. The show launched on September 11, 1976, inside the Krofft Super Show, a 90-minute variety carousel that mixed short serials like Dr. Shrinker and Wonderbug. Within that lineup, Electra Woman and Dyna Girl stood out. Two women front and center, saving the world in neon tights and laser bracelets. Deidre Hall and Judy Strangis played Lori and Judy, reporters by day who raced to the Electra base when trouble struck. With their mentor, Frank, played by Norman Alden, directing from Mission Control, they tore through scenes in the Electra car and Electra plane, battling villains who looked ripped from a comic book cover. Every prop gleamed. The Electracoms, wrist-mounted gadgets with multiple dials, could shoot beams, form shields, and project holograms. TV magic that felt high-tech for its day. Villains like Spider Lady, Glitter Rock, and the Sorcerer added theatrical flair, mixing pop culture trends with wild sci-fi plots. Each episode, split into two 12-minute chapters, followed a fast rhythm: signal, chase, peril, gadget, victory. The pace was relentless, leaving no room for downtime, and that was the hook. But beneath the glitter sat a problem. ABC's format rewarded speed over story. The Krofft Super Show rotated segments weekly, meaning Electra Woman's exposure depended on scheduling, not audience loyalty. When the lineup changed for the 1977 to 78 season, new acts replaced it, and the series quietly vanished, yet it never truly disappeared. Reruns and tapes kept its memory alive, proof that even a short spark can leave a long shadow. The gamble worked for a moment, but television's clock moved faster than the heroes could fly. The neon landed. Now the hard part was keeping it glowing. When great ideas run out of time, and budget tricks keep the show alive.
Electra Woman and Dyna Girl.
Television moves fast, but Saturday mornings in the mid-1970s were a race within a race. ABC's Krofft Super Show gave Electra Woman and Dyna Girl a strong start in September 1976. Yet the structure that launched it soon became the thing that held it back. The umbrella format ran 90 minutes during its first year, crammed with multiple rotating segments. Viewers rarely saw the same heroes 2 weekends in a row. Therefore, even if kids loved Electra Woman, they never got the chance to build a weekly habit. By winter, the numbers proved tricky. The network trimmed the block to an hour for 1977. That cut forced Sid and Marty Krofft to choose which shows to keep, and Electra Woman and Dyna Girl lost its slot. It had fans, but not enough airtime to compete. 16 segments aired between September and Christmas 1976. After that, the duo disappeared from ABC's lineup, replaced by new acts like Bigfoot and Wild Boy. Behind the scenes, the production ran like a stopwatch. Each short story reused signature shots. The Electra base elevator, the Electra car blasting from its garage, the close-ups of the Electracoms. To stay on budget, editors stitched new adventures together from familiar footage, a trick that kept deadlines tight and viewers none the wiser. Later, when the episodes were re-edited into 8 half-hour packages for syndication, those loops helped everything flow like it was meant to be that way all along. The cast chemistry carried it. Deidre Hall and Judy Strangis acted straight through. The Camp Hall balanced confidence and poise, while Strangis gave warmth and wit. Norman Alden grounded their missions from the lab, a steady voice amid flashing lights. Villains gave the show its sparkle. Spider Lady weaving traps, Glitter Rock feeding off glam culture, the Sorcerer tricking mirrors, the Empress of Evil ruling her throne with thunder. Each was larger than life, each unforgettable to kids who tuned in. That rhythm, signal, gadget, victory, worked for a while. Yet it created a ceiling too. The faster the show moved, the sooner it ran out of breath. The question now becomes, when the format cracked, which episode proved the idea could have flown higher, and what strange twist buried it anyway? The best and bumpiest episodes that prove what made it work.
I will destroy you, and I will destroy your precious Electra base.
When Electra Woman Dyna Girl hits its stride, you can feel it right away. The chemistry, the gadgets, and the rhythm line up like clockwork. The very first story, The Sorcerer's Golden Trick, aired on September 11th and 18th, 1976, and it sets the tone for everything that follows. The plot feels huge for a 12-minute show. Fort Knox gold theft, mirror-based illusions, and clever teamwork that saves the day. The Electrocom gadgets solve the puzzle with a blink, and it ends on a crisp one-liner that sounds written to be repeated in playgrounds on Monday morning. It's efficient, bright, and shows exactly how good this concept could be when all the gears meshed. Then there's Glitter Rock. This one captures pure 1976 energy, a glam rock villain using music to hypnotize the public. It's ridiculous in the best way possible, but also a sharp time capsule of how kids' TV absorbed pop culture trends overnight. Spider Lady, played with flair by Tiffany Bowling, goes even further. Her performance gave the show a sense of real threat, and the two-part format allowed moments of suspense instead of just fast gags. Finally, the Empress of Evil pulls out all the stops: crowns, thrones, smoke machines, turning the final battle into a mini-stage show. However, once you move past the hits, the limits start showing. Some mid-season episodes feel like a remix of earlier ones. Same Electra bass shots, same Electra car rollout, new villain monologue. The short runtime meant every problem had to be solved fast, so some stories ended before the tension could land. That wasn't a creative flaw so much as a structural trap. The show lived inside an anthology with multiple acts competing for attention. Every segment had to stand alone. No continuity, no slow build, no big finale payoff. Still, the best moments proved something important. The audience could handle a female-led superhero show full of gadgets and camp if the writing gave it room to grow, and plenty of viewers thought the same. Many even wrote to ABC asking why their favorite heroes vanished after just one season. But once a show disappears that fast, people start guessing. Were there plans to continue? Was there a bigger twist behind the curtain that no one ever saw? The ending that never happened, and why fans still talk about it.
Electra Woman Dyna Girl.
Television loves closure. Electra Woman Dyna Girl never got one. No farewell to Frank, no moment of reflection, no final Electra change before the lights went out. The last episode aired December 25th, 1976, a strange date for a show about high-energy heroics. And when the Croft Super Show returned in fall 1977, their segment was simply gone. No mention, no wrap-up. Viewers turned on the TV expecting another mission and met new faces instead. For many kids, that silence felt like a story left half-told. That unfinished feeling became part of the legend. Fans remembered the sharp cuts, the comic book cliffhangers, the hum of the Electra bass elevator. Their minds filled in what never came next. Syndication gave the series a second life, making new viewers think it had always been a regular half-hour show. The illusion worked, keeping the show alive in memory long after its brief original run. Over the years, those memories found new life. Conventions and nostalgia channels brought the cast back together, trading stories about fast shoots and wild costumes. Deidre Hall often joked about the heat of those vinyl suits under studio lights. Judy Strangis recalled how they shot 2 full adventures in a single week. Fans cared less about the missing finale than about the visuals burned into their brains. The red and yellow suits, the lightning bolt belts, and the theme that you can still hum without trying. Decades later, new versions would try to revive that spark, modern updates turning nostalgia into something new. Even with the updates, that gap from 1976 still matters. The show ended mid-mission, and maybe that's why it never really faded. 2 heroes, frozen in the act of saving the day, replaying forever in pop culture memory. But if something that's short-lived still breathes decades later, what kept that heartbeat alive? And how did a 12-minute kids show turn into a feminist cult classic? 5 things every fan remembers and why they still hit hard. That title card and sting still land like muscle memory. If you watched Electra Woman and Dyna Girl as a kid, your brain can hum the opening tune right now. It's bright, brassy, and over in seconds, but it stamps itself so deep that decades later, fans still identify the show from that single riff that was deliberate. The Crofts designed it to grab your attention in the first 2 seconds of broadcast before you even processed the visuals. Then came the gadgets. The Electracoms, those silver wrist devices, weren't just props. Each had dials that controlled tools like force beams, magnet rays, or shields. Every episode taught a simple pattern. See the problem, activate the right gadget, solve the issue. It worked because it was clear cause and effect. A Saturday morning version of logic training wrapped in neon. For many kids, it was their first taste of science fiction tech that actually made sense. The villains carried the rest. Each was easy to name and even easier to remember. You had Spider Lady with her dramatic web fortress, Glitter Rock, the mind-controlling rock star, the Sorcerer, who tried to rob Fort Knox with illusions, and the Empress of Evil, who might as well have ruled every playground game that winter. You could describe any of them in one line, and that made the show instantly shareable on Monday mornings. The visuals locked everything in place. The base-to-car runway sequence became a ritual. Elevator drop, flashing lights, and a quick drive out of the secret garage. It repeated each week, and that repetition built comfort. Every rollout promised action within seconds, a rhythm designed for short attention spans before cereal milk even warmed. And then the legacy, the simplest but biggest thing. 2 heroes sharing top-billing Electra Woman and Dyna Girl. Equal names, equal screen time, equal problem solving. No second fiddle, no sidekick. In 1976, that mattered. It gave kids, especially girls, a place in the superhero lineup that wasn't borrowed from someone else's cape. So, was Electra Woman and Dyna Girl a glitter-coated curiosity or a real pioneer in disguise? Maybe both. It came from a decade built on spectacle and camp, but it broke quiet ground where it counted. It proved 2 women could headline a superhero series and carry the story through teamwork, humor, and invention. That's why the brand keeps surfacing. Every decade or so, someone brings it back, updates the gadgets, and hands the suits to a new pair. The platform changes, the city changes, but the heart stays the same. 2 friends facing the absurd and saving the day together. Why Electra Woman and Dyna Girl still won't let go of pop culture.
Give me all the money in the register, now!
Well, hello, gentlemen. I'm gonna shove that phone so deep inside you, you're gonna have to do Kegel stance or it. I've never done Kegels, but I've heard things.
Some TV shows fade the moment they're canceled. Others hang around in people's minds for decades, and Electra Woman and Dyna Girl belong squarely in that second category. It ran for only 16 short episodes, but the effect stuck, especially with kids who turned on their boxy TVs every Saturday morning in 1976. Part of the reason is simple. It gave viewers something they rarely saw back then: 2 women leading a superhero show. They weren't girlfriends or assistants or comic relief. They were the ones driving the Electracar and taking on the villains. ABC might have seen it as a lightweight addition to the Croft Super Show. But for a lot of young girls, and just as many boys, it was the first time hero meant someone who didn't look like Superman or Batman. Another reason it lasted in memory is structure. Those 12-minute stories taught fast storytelling before anyone called it that. Every episode hit the same rhythm: alert, gadget, plan, showdown, victory tight, clear, colorful. The quick pacing kept kids glued long enough to finish breakfast before the next act of the Croft lineup began. And that formula? You can trace it through the 1980s and 1990s, from Power Rangers to VR Troopers. Same bones, different suits. The visual design also did the heavy lifting. You can't forget the Electracom wristbands or those bright suits, even if you only saw them once. The props looked cheap but fun. They felt like toys that might actually work. Those details, repeated every episode, became part of the muscle memory of 70s TV kids. And because there was no ending, it never really stopped. When the 1976 run disappeared, syndication stitched the shorts into half-hour reruns. VHS tapes kept it alive through the 80s, DVDs through the 2000s, and YouTube clips gave it a second life for fans who wanted to show their kids the original duo. The 2016 reboot by Grace Helbig and Hannah Hart brought it full circle. Same name, new format, same heartbeat. That's the secret. Electra Woman and Dyna Girl never got closure, which meant it never died. No final episode, no goodbye. Just two heroes forever ready for the next alert. Maybe that's why it still feels alive every time you see those lightning belts. Until next time, stay nostalgic.